Maddie, tomorrow is the day of your wedding, right? And your fiancé Aaron is one of the elite, correct? I am so very proud of my little girl and what she's obtained.
Thank you, Mom.
Aaron will be having a lot of guests at that wedding as well, right? I'm sure that all of them will be in elite status as well, all making more than I've ever seen in my life each year. I'm so excited. I kind of gave in due to this occasion and bought myself a very high-end dress. This is my daughter's wedding after all, so I just knew I had to go out and find the most gorgeous-looking dress that would fit me and buy it.
I see. Thank you, Mom. I'm excited to see what kind of dress you've gotten tomorrow, and I'm sure everyone else will be all over you asking about it.
This is it. Have you taken a good look at the picture I sent you? It's really pretty, right? It cost me a lot more than I normally spend on anything. So much, actually, that I might need myself another credit card. Just know that I got this dress for your wedding, so you should feel very happy about that.
Mom, this dress, I see you took a picture of it with the price tag and all being displayed for me to view.
I was just doing that so you could see what brand the dress was. But the fact that this dress just by itself was $1,000, that's pretty expensive, right? I knew that I needed to put that kind of money into my fashion for tomorrow's wedding, since it is your one and only occasion. I'll just have to make sure that I pay that $1,000 off rather soon.
I see. Well, hearing you say that does make me feel happy. Thank you.
See, you're happy, right? If you're that happy over the dress I got, then that means I made the right choice. But here's the thing, Maddie. I am a single woman now ever since your father ran away. So getting that $1,000 and using it to pay off this dress is going to be very difficult for me. I guess it does cost a lot to make your daughter happy.
Mom, could you let me pay that $1,000 for you?
What?
Look, you've done so much for me all my life, like raising me, supporting me, even educating me. I'm thankful for all those things that you've done as my mother. So I would like to pay for your dress.
Maddie, there's a tear rolling down my cheek right now. Your mom. I really raised myself such a wonderful little girl.
You don't have to say anything, Mom. It's only right that I pay for your dress.
Then I'll also have you pay for my heels, my new jewelry, and for me to go to the beauty salon to get all my work done, which will come to around $2,000. I am so happy.
What? $2,000?
That's right. It wasn't just the dress that I went all in for in your wedding. There were plenty of other things that I spent a little bit extra on for you. But to hear you saying that you'll be paying for me, I guess it was the right choice after all to spend so much. I am so looking forward to seeing you at your wedding tomorrow.
Wait, but $2,000 is a little bit too...
I am so happy because of what you're doing for me. You are my most beloved daughter, Maddie. You are someone that I can brag to all my friends about, and to those I don't even know. You're so much better than your older sister, Kenzie. By the way, will Kenzie be coming to your wedding as well tomorrow?
Of course she will be. She's my older sister, after all.
Your older sister. Well, to me, she isn't even my daughter, if that goes and tells you anything about my feelings for her. But I suppose this is going to be your grand occasion for everyone to see, so I'll just have to put up with her being around me this time. Maddie, today is the day of the wedding. I can't believe it's come so quickly, and I have to tell you something very quickly here. Yesterday, I'm not sure why I went out and did this after speaking to you, perhaps out of excitement or something, but I bought myself a new dress.
What? You bought yourself another new dress yesterday?
This is going to be my daughter's wedding after all, so I didn't want to have any regrets going into it. Well, thinking about what I could do to keep those regrets at bay, my legs took me right into another dress store. And without even thinking about it, I bought myself a $3,000 dress.
Hold on a minute, Mom. What happened to you being done with all that spending so that you could focus on paying off your cards?
But this is my daughter's one and hopefully only wedding, right? There's no reason for me to be so stingy during this kind of event, right? Or are you trying to tell me something here, Maddie? Are you trying to say that you don't want to see me in my best dress?
I never said that. It's just $3,000? Are you really sure it's okay for you to be spending that kind of money on my wedding when you don't really even have that kind of money available to you? You were already expressing to me yesterday that $1,000 would be tough on you.
I know that something like me having to pay all of that would trouble you. That's why I'm going to take advantage of this moment and ask that you pay off this $3,000 for me as well.
I knew this would happen.
I'm so sorry, Maddie, but you really are my favorite daughter, one that I know I can brag about to anyone I want to. I am so proud of you, Maddie.
However, there's also the $2,000 you told me about yesterday, Mom. I was just planning on giving you $1,000, all right? That's why I said I'd be willing to pay for the dress you told me about yesterday. That $3,000 you're talking about now is a little...
What? What are you trying to say here?
Well, the $1,000 dress I plan on paying for, you're not even going to be wearing now, correct? Do you think you can take it back to the store for me and return it?
What was that?
Huh? What was that?
How do you read that word?
What word?
Return? No, wait. Rehorn? How do you even read that word? What does it even mean, Maddie? That's a word I've never seen before in my life, so perhaps it's some kind of new slang you younger people have come up with.
You've never seen or read the word return before? Are you joking, Mom?
I'm very serious right now. I don't even know what the meaning of that word could be. And well, since I don't know what that word is, or what it even means, I'm not going to be able to go out and do it for you. Anyway, I'm going to need that $5,000.
So you're going to play games with me now, huh? I have never heard of anyone your age who has spoken English all her life not knowing how to read or understand the word return. I am appalled by you now, Mom.
You have always been so intelligent, understanding, even the most bizarre words like that one there. I love you so much for that. Anywho, good luck getting ready for your wedding today, and I'll be seeing you very soon. I'll be asking for that money today as well.
Crap.
Maddie, this has been such an amazing looking wedding so far.
Kenzie! Thank you so much for coming and saying that. And thank you so much for all the help you gave me while preparing this whole event for everyone.
Don't worry about it. The fact that you've given us all this beautiful wedding day has given me the chance to come out and have some fun again. Also, I'm thinking about the fact that you're really married now. I don't really have any words that can explain the way I feel right now about that. You used to be such a little brat back in the day, and now you're with a man who loves you more than anyone else here.
That's on point, actually. Sometimes I think about that myself. How could a girl as wild as me end up with a man who actually wants to hang on to me for the rest of his life? But listen, Kenzie, you've been like a parent to me all these years, and so seeing you today has made me tear up quite a bit.
I'm not all that important to you, am I? I think you're just being a bit dramatic calling me a parent to you.
What are you talking about? You took the place of our horrible mother who have been so addicted to gambling. You went and did all the chores and cooked for us while she was always out of the house, and you even went as far as paying for my schooling after I got out of high school. It was also because of me that you never went on to college or anything yourself. Kenzie, you really are like my true mother, more than Mom can ever be.
All right. Stop being so dramatic about it. I don't care to think about any of the past now, so please, leave me out of it.
But you should care a little. What happened back then was not fair to you, and I really am so thankful that you stepped in to help me that much.
How about you leave all those emotions for the speech or something then, huh? I just texted you to tell you how much I'm enjoying your wedding today, and that it's been a very lovely event. If you're going to want to talk about more serious things than that, then you're going to have to let me get more alcohol into my system first.
I get that, but Kenzie, I'm worried that after all that's happened with the family and with me, you're still upset and trying not to deal with those feelings.
What? Why would you think something like that of me? I have nothing against anyone now, and I'm not upset about a single thing. If I was, then I wouldn't be here right now partying with everyone else.
Are you sure? If you're really not holding back anything, then I guess I won't have to talk with you about it anymore.
I am totally fine, Maddie. Congratulations on the marriage. As your older sister, I'm very thankful that I got to see you get married today. And I made sure to give you a pretty decent present today for your wedding. So please, Be happy about that.
You're talking about the 23 cents you left me?
What? What 23 cents are you talking about? That's not at all the amount I left for you.
I'm talking about the envelope you left for me with that cute card inside it. There was just 23 cents and change left in it for me. That's kind of why I got this feeling that you might be very upset with me over something that happened in the past. Had you not given me a gift at all, or maybe just a small amount, like $10, I wouldn't have been all that shocked, but 23 cents? When I saw that amount in there, I sort of thought you were trying to pick on me. Such a small and inconvenient amount.
Hold on. You're telling me in that envelope I gave to you, there was my card that I wrote and 23 cents and change? That's it? Wait, and you already went and opened your gift from me?
I only went and opened your gift, Kenzie. As I was gathering everything off the table, I came across the envelope you left, and as I picked it up, it felt a little off, with all the coins jangling around inside. That kind of piqued my interest into what exactly you gave me, and so...
So, that's why you went and opened it. I'm not upset about that or anything. Well, I'm not sure how to say this to you without sounding a little bit pretentious. There should have been $1,000 in that envelope for you, Maddie. That's how much I put in there this morning at least.
What?
And I don't ever remember putting any change in there. You're telling me there was 23 cents in that envelope when you opened it?
Yes.
There's no way I would have mistakenly put that in there without knowing it. Maddie, I think there might have been someone who stole the $1,000 I put in there.
Of course someone's gone and stolen it. But how are we supposed to find out who it was? All of my gifts were left on the table at the front of the building by the front desk. And from what the staff told me, things like money and whatnot should have all been handed to me directly.
Maddie, we already know who it is. There's only one person it could possibly be. When I went to drop off my card to at the desk, there was another woman there with me, someone I haven't wanted to see in ages.
What? Don't tell me.
So you're suspecting me of doing it now? How could you even think that about your own mom, Maddie? I'm sure it was just Kenzie being a dunce and losing the money as she walked in, right? And I think she's lying to you about something like $1,000, all right? That girl would never have that kind of money just laying around for you.
So even now, you are still against Kenzie and anything that has to do with her? Why do you hate her so much, Mom?
I never said anything about hating her, right? But I will say that I can't trust a girl like her. Also, isn't it her that hates me instead? I was the one that raised her and everything, as my first child even, yet she never once listened to me, instead choosing to constantly talk back whenever I asked her to do anything.
Anyway, you have no idea what happened, right?
That's right. I have no clue about anything you were talking about, and you are really going to suspect me of doing something like that? Give that up. You and I are family, and I would never do anything like that to my own daughter of all people.
Well, as of right now, things like being family and such have nothing to do with this. For the time being, I'll need to do a bit more research into what's happened.
All right. I really hope you can find out who did it. Hey, Maddie. What the hell was that speech all about today? I never ever stole anything out of that envelope Kenzie left for you today. You've got the wrong person here.
Mom, how about you give it up now? We have all the evidence we need that points to you doing it. The camera behind the front desk was even able to pick you up clear as day taking that money.
Well, of course it would take footage of me looking. I happen to be the mother of the bride, after all. It's my job to go and have a look at all the gifts and money people leave for you, to make sure it's all okay. I have the right to do something like that.
Mom, the footage literally shows you pulling money out of that envelope and placing it into your purse. From the way you were acting, it seemed as though you were aware of the camera, but you grew complacent when you saw the money, and the camera got that brief shot we needed.
What? There's no way.
If you're not going to confess to what you've done today, how about I put it on the projector for everyone here to see? It can be like a little courtroom here, and we can see what the jury, all my guests, think. How does that sound? Then we'll get the opinions of everyone here today. I don't mind pausing all the fun here at my wedding to do something like that. So what's it going to be, Mom?
Wait. You don't have to take things that far.
So that means you'll confess to the crime, right? The crime of stealing my money from that envelope today?
But that girl! She would never spare me a single penny even, yet she's willing to give you $1,000 on your wedding day. That's completely screwed up. I was the one that raised her into the woman she is today.
So that's how you really feel then? You think that just because you raised her, she should be required to give you money? So that's why you went and took that money from me.
I don't think that same way about you though, Maddie. You are my little girl after all. But Kenzie? She's not my real daughter. Her and I aren't even related by blood. However, out of the kindness of my heart, I still raised her, and she should have been thankful for all of that.
I can see there are plenty of things you want to say, and there are plenty of things I'd like to say now as well. But let's start with this. You never once raised Kenzie like you always seem to claim, Mom.
What?
And to help you understand things a whole lot better now between you and I, you are no longer like a mother to me.
What are you going on about right now? Listen to this, Maddie. That Kenzie was brought into this family by her father, and after all I had done for him, he ran off into the night, never to come back, leaving the rest of us behind. I had no reason to raise her after her real father, my husband, had left me.
How dare you say that? After Dad had run away and left the rest of us, it was Kenzie that stepped in to take care of us. She had to end up leaving high school and everything in order to start working different part-time jobs so that we'd have some money flowing into the house again.
She was the one who decided to do all of that herself.
She had to because of all the pressure you were placing on her every single day. From morning until night, you would tell her that it was her father's fault that our family was broken and her father's fault that we could never be happy again. She was just a junior in high school at the time, yet you were telling her to take responsibility for what her father had done and told her to work.
Well, that's what had to happen. And I wasn't wrong about what happened, right? It's because of her father that the family fell apart and couldn't be happy anymore. So her being his daughter meant that she had to take full responsibility.
Why? The one who was to blame for everything was the man who ran off at night and never came back. And do you want to know who is next in line to be blamed? His wife. Your mom. Because you never opened your heart or mind to anyone besides yourself and I, and that left her with no parents at all. She was just in high school and had no control over anything, yet you drilled the idea of being to blame into her mind and made her give up the future that she wanted.
What? You're always going on about this and that. I had to end up losing my husband so early on. And after that, I had to spend 10 years all by myself raising you into the woman you are today, without ever getting remarried or anything.
And I am thankful for what you've done. That's why I never ended up cutting ties to you after graduating high school and even invited you out to my wedding. Honestly, I didn't really want you coming today, but I knew that I had a responsibility of inviting you to my wedding. I still appreciate you raising me with what little you had.
Well then, show me some of that appreciation in your speech. What the hell was that speech about? Why am I being made to look like the bad guy here?
Because you went and stole $1,000 from that envelope Kenzie gave me, so of course you're the bad guy.
But the gift was from my daughter and was meant for this family, so I wasn't stealing anything from you.
You were just going on about how she's not your daughter and isn't even related to you by blood, yet now you're going to say she's family again? Why? Because you need her to be your family, only because you did something wrong and don't want to be blamed for it?
Well, but if she is a part of this family, then I've really done nothing wrong. I was just taking some money that was given to this family, by this family. So why are you going all crazy over it?
Mom, we all know what you've done. This isn't just about the envelope of money she gave me. This is about all of the envelopes and cards that were given to my husband and I today that you picked through and stole the money from.
What?
I never said anything about us seeing footage of the rest of that going on, but Mom, we saw everything and it's over. There was another camera in that front room and it was looking at you from your right side. And that camera caught everything. It's so clear that we can even tell what cards and envelopes came from who that you're picking through.
No. Wait. I wasn't going through all the rest of those with the intent of stealing. I know. I was having a small look into each one of them just to make sure everything was in the...
I said that the video is as clear as day showing you stealing money out of them, yet you're still trying to make up excuses. Mom, frickin' confess. There's nothing left for you to do now, nothing left you can do.
But I had no other choice, all right? I am in real need of money right now, okay? I have been gambling so much that I've started to have to borrow money to play more. I had to raise you and Kenzie all by myself for so long now, and that's required me to find some way to get a breath of fresh air.
You're telling me back in the day when I was still in middle school and Kenzie was out working part-time jobs instead of going to school, you were stealing all of her money in order to get a breath of fresh air? How come you even needed a breath of fresh air when you weren't even bothering to help us out at all?
You have no idea how tough things have been for me. All the crap that I've gone through. Maddie, I bet that all of this is what Kenzie is wanting you to say to me, right?
Wanting me to say what? What are you talking about? Do you think that I'm acting this way because of her right now? Mom, the reason I'm so upset with you right now and am no longer willing to put up with your BS is because you went and stole money from those envelopes and cards.
Stop making such a stupid argument. That's Kenzie. She is always causing all kinds of trouble for me.
Hey, stop it with the hate already, Mom. I am tired of you blaming her and hating on her for everything. She has done nothing wrong. She was not the one sticking her hands into those envelopes and cards and pocketing all the money that was in them.
Kenzie, are you really going to keep this up, acting like you have no respect for me at all? You went and used my own daughter against me, and have her acting out against me now, calling me a criminal and a bad guy. All of this just so that you can continue to show your hate towards me.
Didn't you cut ties to me back in the day?
Yes, I sure did. But you came out here to Maddie's wedding today and are trying to pick a fight with me. So I'll join you in the ring, if that's what you want.
I didn't come here looking for a fight, though. I came here today to celebrate my cute little sister's wedding and to hand her the money I brought as a gift for her. And after all that was said and done, I was going to head back home and not ever talk to you.
Your cute little sister. She's not even related to you by blood.
Does it really matter that much if families related to one another by blood?
Well, of course it is. That is the whole meaning behind a family. And all you are is the bastard child of a man who left his family behind and ran off in the middle of the night. Maddie is my child and my only child. She is the only family to me and nobody else. So you will not lay another finger on her, you hear me?
So now you're treating her as an object?
I was the one that gave birth to her, so I can treat her however I'd like to. You have nothing to do with either of us, so shut the hell up and go away. You are a bastard child that came from 2 crappy parents.
And who was it again that relied on that bastard child to survive? If I hadn't left high school and given up on my dream of going to college to start working all day long, there would have been no way for you to pay the rent, and you would have never had the money to go out and play slots all day long. I was doing all of that with the hopes of keeping the family together, and perhaps even getting a thank you or something in return for all my work.
Ha! Why are you trying to act all high and mighty like you sacrificed everything for the family? Those are all lies, you idiot.
You think I'm lying? Then tell me what you think. Show me how I'm lying right now about the money I made for the house by working all day long at the age of 16, being what supported you and Maddie.
If that's what you're going to say to me, then I'll say the same thing right back. Show me how you working and making money was the only thing that kept me alive. Give me the rundown right now of how all that work and everything you did was what kept me on my feet.
All right. I have records of all the money that you stole from me.
What?
In your place, I ran the house's account book since you were always out gambling, which made it pretty dang easy for me to keep track of all the money you would steal from my bank account. I can show you them right now if you'd like. Do you want to see the evidence of you having to rely on me to survive?
Well, that's not going to make for any evidence. You keep going on about me stealing from you, but we all lived in the same house, so that money you brought in was for everyone to use. And even without your money, I was able to live my life just the way I wanted to.
Is that right? Well, if that's the case, then give me back all that money.
What?
You just told me that even without my money, you were able to live the life you wanted, right? If that's really how things were, then give me back all the money you took. You should be able to give it all back to me, right? You said you had enough money without me to support yourself, which means you didn't need to take my money after all.
Wait. About that, actually.
You can't, can you? That's because you never worked at all, and even now Maddie and I can see you have no money. Hey, do you have any idea just how sad and disgusting you've made yourself look right now? I'm even embarrassed by how miserable of a wreck you are.
Shut the hell up. It's that right there about you that's always made me hate you. You were such an idiotic little brat, and yet you always acted like you were better than me, and still are.
Just like the good old days. Once you fell back into a corner and have nothing left to say that's constructive, you resort to verbal abuse thinking that will set you free. I've always hated that about you.
Shut up! You're a bastard child born from two toxic people. I'm telling you right now, you are never going to become happy if all you do is talk back to people like that.
I don't care about that.
What?
And I really don't give a crap about what you have to say to me either. However, no matter how much you try and talk trash about me, I need to stick around in order to take care of Maddie. Even if you've lost all your humanity and love to live the life of a heartless gambling criminal, I will not let the same happen to my little sister.
What kind of crap is this now?
My dad might have been a pile of trash, but the same goes for Maddie's mom. And even though I was able to break free from my dad and you, Maddie could not do the same because she has too big of a heart. That's why back when I should have been in high school getting ready for college, I had to leave and defend my little sister from monsters like you. And the idea has not changed for me. Even if I'm never to become happy because of the way I chose to act, at least I know my efforts are contributing to Maddie's happiness. And that's all I need.
What? Why are you going so far for? So far for Maddie?
Even though her and I aren't related by blood, to me she is still the most important piece of family I've ever had. Shouldn't it be natural to want to protect your family?
Hey, please, don't abandon me like this, Maddie. I've learned my lesson now, all right? I know what I've done now is wrong, okay? Please, forgive me now.
What lesson have you learned? You were coming right up behind Kenzie with the intent of stabbing her with that cake knife. Thank God security was there to grab you and get that knife out of your hands. I can't imagine what would have happened had they not seen you then.
I just became so enraged over what was going on, and I lost control over my own body. I promised to give you back all the money I stole from you. So please, just forgive me and let this all go. There is nothing left for me if you throw me away now. So please.
I understand that by not throwing you away, you're going to ask for me to start paying off all your debts because you have no means of doing so yourself, right? You'll probably start asking for my successful husband to step in and help you pay things off.
I can ask for things like that because I was the one that raised you, right? I was all by myself doing so. It was all so hard for me. How about you repay all of that time and energy I put into you?
I'm sure all of that was hard on you. So please don't think that I don't appreciate you raising me with what little you had. But Mom, I have done so much for you these past few years and even planned on paying for that dress you bought the other day for $1,000. However, a lot of that money you've put into gambling and pretty much lost it all to the point that you started to borrow money from others so that you could gamble even more. I think you being in financial peril right now is what you deserve after never learning any of the lesson I tried to teach you.
Why, Maddie, I did my very best to raise you. You have no freaking idea how hard all of that was for me and what I had to sacrifice.
Then that must mean as a high schooler who had to drop out and get 3 part-time jobs working somewhere around 80 to 90 hours a week in order to support a middle schooler and an adult, things were a lot more difficult for Kenzie, right?
What?
And to make things worse for her, many of the nights she'd come home from working, you wouldn't even be home because you were still out gambling with the money she earned for us. Did you ever once think about what she had to go through? Kenzie?
Wait, that was...
I think of Kenzie as my mother, my true mother. And that means for all of her hard work, I'd like to repay her. That way, she will know just how thankful I am for everything she's done. So I'm sorry, Mom.
What? Hold on a second. Please. I get it now. I promise to make up with Kenzie so that we can all be a family again. So please, Maddie.
That's not what she wants, though. I'm sure you want to make up with her now since your life depends on it, but to her, she doesn't want anything to do with you and would hate having you in her life again.
I'm so sorry. I promise to change my ways from now on, okay?
What? Change your... What's that? How do you read something like that? I'm sorry, but I've never seen or heard of that phrase before, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Today was a really tough day for everyone, I think. Your mom went and stole all that money from you and then tried to stab me in the back, literally. But I still have to congratulate you on your marriage. I am so happy to see you with the man of your dreams.
Kenzie, I am so thankful for everything you've done for me for the past 10 years.
What are you talking about? I don't ever remember really doing anything for you. You just happened to be a 6th grader at the time, and I was a high schooler that was forced to leave school and work all the time.
But, Kenzie, to me, you're like the mother that raised me. No, you are the mother that raised me, and I really appreciate what you did for me so much. That's why, from now on, I'd like to do some things in return for you.
You don't have to do anything, all right? I don't like all of this dramatic stuff anyway. You know that. Didn't you already say everything you felt about me today in your speech? That was more than enough to make me happy. Although, all those words about how grateful you are for me really did make my face go bright red with embarrassment.
I saw you over there shedding some tears during the speech.
Huh? I was not shedding any tears, you jerk. It was a little boring, and I had to yawn a few times.
Huh? Yawning, you say?
Maddie, you like to think of me as your mother and the one who raised you, right? Then stop teasing your mother like that.
All right, Mom. And Kenzie, thank you so very much for today. After that, we had the whole after party and dance and whatnot that comes with a wedding. But my sister and I stayed at the wedding venue all night long drinking and talking about all sorts of things. She's always been a bit antsy when it comes to things like her feelings and past, but after I got her a little bit more tipsy, I was able to dig around a bit and learn all kinds of things from her. And let me just say, having the chance to do something like that with her, being able to have some really deep talks about our lives and how we felt, has only made our bond with one another stronger. I know that she never likes me to talk about this, but I really love the fact that she is so cold on the outside, but so loving and protective on the inside. As for what happened with my real mom, let's just say I'll never be seeing her again. After she had tried to stab Kenzie, the security team called the police and held her in the storage closet until they showed up. Once the officers came inside, they took her away in their cop car, while one officer stayed behind to start checking up with some of the guests and myself about what happened. I was able to get that money she took from those envelopes all back, and both Kenzie and I will now be able to get restraining orders placed on her. We were also told that there would be a court hearing that we could go to where we could speak against her if we wanted to, while the judge thought about her punishment. For the time leading up to that hearing, I made sure to block my mom's number since this was the end of her being a part of my life. Once my sister and I got to the hearing, we got to both testify against my mom, as well as talk about all the things she'd done to us in the past and her gambling addiction. There was also the owner of the wedding venue who showed up to talk about the amount of money she would owe for all the things she damaged at the venue in her rage. At the end of the hearing, the judge ruled that she would be charged with attempted murder, which would place her behind bars for 3 years at the very least. She would also have the charges of theft and vandalism thrown on as well, considering she did attempt to steal my money and destroyed a lot of things at the wedding venue. She'll also have to pay 2 settlements, one being for all the things she destroyed, and the other one to my husband's family for causing a disturbance at the wedding. This would come to around $35,000 and would have to be paid off in the next year using whatever properties she had, those being her brand apparel, her car, her house, and so much more. I'm not sure how she's going to manage all of that debt on top of the debt she was already in, but let's just say that in a few years, when she's released from prison, she's going to have to start from square one. These days, I'm living in a very large house with my husband, who is spoiling me with all kinds of luxuries whenever he has the time off work. But I've made sure not to leave my job or anything, as I still want to save up some money for myself, in order to pay back my sister for all she's done someday. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.